Hey guys, World Eater here. Today we're going to be going over a brand new familiar coming to the Bitverse, and that's going to be Admiral Yarrlag. So let's go ahead and check him out real quick. I'm going to start off by talking about his appearance, then we'll go into the schematic requirements and continue on so forth. So Admiral Yarrlag looks pretty cool. I really do like the Orlag style aesthetics. He seems really fitting in my opinion. His super cool metal arm looks super tight. I really do love the hook, and I'm glad that they did a really good job on the art style for this one. He looks very, very clean. The hat's very fitting, and I love that little techie eyeball that he has. It just seems pretty cool. So all in all, I think he looks super cool. Now, we're going to go on to the schematic requirements. So coming back to the game here, if we go to quests, I'm going to be in Ashvale, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, tier 4. So in Ashvale, there are 2 spots you could farm Staeus. Staeus is going to be one of the things you need for Admiral Yarlag. In fact, you actually need 10 of them per. And 20k gold, but the 20k gold is nothing. You get that as you farm just about anything. So Staeus is going to be here in Kovalg's Pit. If you're trying to take advantage of capture rate and getting them as quickly as possible, this is your best option. Now, if you're more focused on event currency, you don't care for the speed at which you make them, you care more about getting the currency to get the schematic to begin with, you would want to try out Bone Veil. That is going to be your bread and butter for you right there. You're going to have 50% capture rate only in comparison to the 200, and you're also going to have all these familiars in that pool of familiars for that spot, but it's still very, very worth it if you are farming the event currency. So that is going to be exactly where you get them. If you want to know how the familiar looks, this is how they look. This is them right there. That is exactly who you are looking for. Now, let's go ahead and get back to Admiral Yarrlag. So I'd rather read their flavor text first to get it out of the way. Then we'll go over stats, skills, and then the bonuses. So Yarrlag killed a dozen Welkin marauders when they first met and was immediately made an admiral. So he's an admiral. Pretty cool. Very admiring. So going on to the stats, we do have a pretty decent split. We have power at 31.7%, stamina at 21.5%, and agility at 42.8%. Now, I really do like the split. Wish the stam was slightly lower, but honestly, it's pretty solid. I'm very happy with the stat spread this time around. So checking out the skills, guys. The skills going to be, forgive me if I don't pronounce these correctly. They're a little different. Peas Tolk, which is going to be a 0 SP, deal 50% damage to the closest enemy 2 times. Now, that's pretty nice for your little brain procs. I like that a lot. Pretty decent 0 SP. Very standard. Then we have Daka, which is going to be a 1 SP. You deal 39% damage to a random enemy and 4 additional enemies, which is very, very nice, especially for those brain procs at a 1 SP. That's going to be really nice with an attack team brain or attack strongest, maybe attack closest if you really want to focus down, going down the line. Just about any offensive brain would make that shine tremendously. So I like that one a lot. We have Death Ray at a 2 SP. You deal 89% damage to the furthest and 71% damage to the weakest enemy. So that is very nice, especially if the weakest enemy's in the back. He is destroyed. So Death Ray is very, very nice. Again, a lot of multi-hit. This is going to go great with Dual Strike. Obviously, you would want to pair some Empower in there somewhere just to get a little extra strength. But that is very, very solid. I really do like Death Ray. Probably one of my favorite skills so far. Then we have Yarrrlag. I believe that's how you say it. It's going to be a 3 SP, spread heal for 75%, and give 187% Fury to your team. Now, that is a very nice Fury attack because you heal and then you also give Fury. So very supporty in there. It's very, very nice. Now, obviously, since he does have this, is he a support? No, he can be considered a hybrid, but he's mainly DPS. He does have that one support aspect to him, but since it's not in his bonuses, not too crazy. But he is very, very valuable in multiple situations. I'll give you that. We also do have Teal, that guy. Killed that guy. Oh, dude, that's so funny. Killed that guy. Dude, that's such a good name. It's going to be a 4 SP, deal 450% damage to the target enemy and 45% to self. This skill has a 25% extra critical chance. Dude, that is... Guys, killed that guy is probably my favorite attack now. You know, I like Death Ray and all that, but killed that guy is really, really nice. I think I'm going to be using that skill quite often. Okay, so for the bonuses, it's going to be gain 7.5% dual strike each normal hit. It will reset on dual strike. And you also have gain 7.5% empower. Each normal hit resets on empower. Now, I'm going into this without really reading it first. This is all my first... this is my first view on everything. So I did say you would want to build dual strike and empower. After seeing this, I would probably build... you could always build damage and then just hope that your dual strike and empower builds so you just hit like a truck. You could always still build dual strike and empower. It'll just be way more consistent. But if you're really trying to maximize, you could try going the damage route. You could try going ricochet. You can go team enrage, stuff of that nature. So it's completely up to you. There's plenty of ways to build Admiral Yarrlag. So all in all, I think he's very, very solid, especially at the tier you can get him. Think about this. He is a tier 4 familiar. Yeah, that's all I have to say. He's very strong. I am more than certain he can take you to endgame as long as you have a decent take or bait to help you out. He is definitely a good grab. I highly recommend getting him for you newer players. Even for you mid-game players lacking a DPS, I could see him shining in your team. And not to mention, all you NFT holders out there would definitely want this guy on your team as an easier to make DPS. I highly recommend getting Admiral Yarrlag. Not only is he strong, he just looks really cool. So that's going to be my thoughts on Admiral Yarrlag. Tell me what you thought in the comments. I would like to know your opinions on his aesthetics, his kit. We can chat about it down there. Thank you so much. This is World Eater. Have a great one, guys. Peace.